Operational decisions move fast, but compliance still needs evidence. In this module, we'll look at how Regrello AI helps teams prioritize work, flag exceptions, and assess risk, while keeping people in control and every decision ready for audit. You've already built the foundation: what Regrello AI is, how AI-powered workflows are designed, and how process intelligence reveals status, bottlenecks, and improvement opportunities. Now we'll connect those insights to decision support, especially where operations, risk, and compliance need clearer evidence and faster action. Process intelligence turns workflow data into visibility: who owns each step, how long work is taking, and where exceptions are appearing. Bottleneck analysis then looks for patterns that affect outcomes, like repeated delays, overloaded handoffs, or risk signals building up. Decision support is the next layer. AI uses that context to suggest what needs attention first, what action may come next, and when escalation may be appropriate. The human still makes the decision. The value is faster judgment, more consistent choices, and greater confidence under pressure. Operational decision support is most useful when it turns messy work into clear next actions. AI can help teams rank urgent jobs by deadline, dependency, and impact. It can check whether required details are missing or inconsistent before work moves downstream. If something falls outside the normal path, it can suggest the right owner, approver, or escalation route. It can also condense risk signals from suppliers, tasks, and processes into a summary people can act on. The goal is not automatic control. It is faster, better-informed operational judgment. Urgent work is not always the task with the closest due date. AI can look across multiple signals, including SLA risk, customer or business impact, dependencies, exceptions, and process history. By combining those signals, it can flag work that may become a blocker before the deadline is missed. That turns a long task list into a ranked queue. The important boundary is that AI suggests priority. It does not own the decision. A human owner should confirm the context before escalating, reassigning people, or interrupting planned work. Missing information is one of the easiest workflow problems to overlook, and one of the most expensive to discover late. AI can act like a readiness check before a request moves forward. It scans for missing attachments, blank required fields, unclear comments, and values that do not align. The key is not just raising an alert. It is explaining what is missing and why it matters. Teams should also separate critical gaps from optional details, so users focus on the items that truly block approval, compliance, or decision-making. When an exception appears, the goal is not just to flag it. The goal is to route it quickly to the person who can resolve it. I can classify the case as a late approval, policy violation, supplier issue, or missing compliance evidence. Then it checks signals like task type, process stage, region, category, risk level, and ownership rules. A finance issue may go to finance, a control gap to compliance, and a high-risk blocker to management. The escalation path should stay visible, so users understand the routing decision and the outcome is logged. AI risk summaries bring scattered signals into one decision-ready view. For example, a supplier onboarding approval may be delayed because emails arrived late, required documents are missing, and an exception has been escalated more than once. At the same time, the workflow may show overdue approvals or a recurring bottleneck. The value is not that AI declares the supplier bad. The value is that it compresses the evidence, highlights patterns, suggests the next reviewer or action, and links back to the records people should check before deciding. Approval workflows are a natural fit for AI support because the decision depends on context, timing, and policy. After a request is submitted, AI can validate completeness, summarize details, surface prior comments, flag missing evidence, and show approval history. That gives reviewers a faster, cleaner starting point. AI may also suggest likely next actions, such as approve, reject, clarify, or escalate. But the accountability stays with the approver. The system supports judgment. It does not replace it. The accountable approver still makes the final decision using policy and business context. Compliance traceability turns a workflow into an audit-ready story. Every status change, handoff, approval, and comment becomes part of the decision record. Timestamps show when work moved. Ownership shows who was accountable. Comments and approvals explain why a choice was made, and documents provide the supporting evidence. For AI-assisted decisions, this traceability is especially important. The recommendation should not stand alone. It should connect back to the data, workflow steps, and user actions that shaped it. That way, auditors can review the full path, not just the final outcome. When AI supports an operational decision, the audit question is not only what did the model suggest? It is also who saw it, what evidence did they consider, and why did they accept, change, or reject it? Treat each recommendation as part of the official decision record. Capture the AI output, link relevant evidence, identify the reviewer, record comments, and preserve the final action with a timestamp. This protects teams later, because investigations and compliance reviews need a clear chain from recommendation to human judgment to business outcome. Think of AI as a co-pilot, not the pilot. It can surface summaries, recommendations, and risk alerts faster than a team could produce them manually. But before anyone acts, an accountable person needs to check the output against the source data, contract, policy requirements, and business context. This review matters most for exceptions, high-risk suppliers, deviations, and escalations. The point is not to slow the workflow down. It is to make sure the final decision is owned, validated, recorded, and traceable. Guardrails turn AI from a loose suggestion engine into a controlled decision support system. Start by separating recommendation from authority. For low-risk operational choices, AI may suggest actions while humans monitor patterns. As risk, financial value, delay, or compliance impact increases, the process should require escalation, evidence, and formal approval. High-impact recommendations need clear source links, documented reasoning, and review standards that everyone follows. This protects teams from inconsistent judgment, hidden assumptions, and automation bias. Good guardrails do not slow every decision. They apply the right level of control to the right level of risk. AI decision support should be measured like any other operational capability. By the outcomes it changes. Start with efficiency, such as cycle time, escalation response, overdue tasks, and rework. Then look at decision quality. Are teams missing fewer risks, prioritizing better, and reducing exception backlogs? Compliance readiness matters too. Strong support should improve audit completeness, approval traceability, and documentation quality. Finally, treat metrics as a feedback loop. Use the results to refine prompts, routing rules, review steps, and workflow design, while keeping human accountability clear. AI can make operational decisions faster by surfacing urgency, gaps, exceptions, and risk. But speed only creates value when the workflow preserves evidence: owners, approvals, comments, history, and decision records. The key principle is balance. Let AI assist, require people to validate, and design governance into the process. Next, we'll build that foundation through administration, permissions, data governance, and responsible AI.